Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good afternoon. Good morning and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits. Hopefully, there will be an arraignment today. We don't know, which is insane. Just like, it's weird. It's very interesting because, you know, with everything that's revolving around this particular case, there's been a lot of false starts, a lot of fugazis, a lot of fake information, a lot of hoaxes, a lot of false starts, a lot of just BS. And we're possibly back at that same situation again. Hopefully that's not the case, but we'll see what happens here. All right. I want to say first, thank you guys so much for coming back here and having this conversation with me and watching this with me. It is very frustrating. Okay. It is very frustrating that, you know, I was hoping that we were going to get some information earlier today, a few hours ago, and now we're back to this BS again. It's all good. From what I'm hearing, looks like there will be an arraignment, but we'll see what happens, okay? So I can't promise anything, but we'll see what happens here, okay? So do me a favor, all right? Whew, as I stretch my neck a little bit. Do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms, please and thank you. Crush it. All right, if you're watching on these other places, please and thank you. That'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. If you're watching on these other platforms, if you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, please make sure you're following. Follow, please and thank you. Okay, guys? Subscribe on my main channel. Go check out my two other channels, the Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. Go check those out. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. This chair stuck. And of course, hit that join button down below, become a member, check out my Patreon, and of course, check out pascalmerch.com. Okay, guys. Hopefully we will get something today. This is so frustrating. Okay, I hate it. I hate it when it's like, oh yeah, you know, everything's going to get started at this particular time, and then nothing happens, right? It really grind. You know what? It just. Like I said, I hate it. I hate it. Okay, but again, we're here. Hopefully, we'll get some new information here very, very soon, and we're gonna get this thing on and popping. Mary, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. I appreciate it. And just like Mary, please consider becoming a member by supporting the channel. Consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. Hit that join button down below. Okay, become part of the family. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, you ain't wrong, Pamela. You know, I don't know why you're coming in like that. Nothing major is going to happen. You ain't wrong. Nothing huge is going to happen. You aren't wrong. Okay. One thing is for sure, though, the arraignment, if it does actually happen today, will go down, and they will be looking at they will be hit with the charges that they are supposedly going to get. And then they're going to keep it moving. Of course, the arraignment isn't that huge of a deal, but they get to find out. We all get to find out. The public gets to find out what kind of charges they really are going to get hit with. Now, here's a possibility. Here's a couple possibilities. These are just my theories. Jake, the fake, okay, is looking at some serious charges. I think Rebecca's looking at some serious charges too, but I don't think it's going to be as intense as Jake's. It depends. It depends on what they found out too. If they found out that there's some serious ish that's going on here, all right, and they found out that they both have a hand at the demise of this baby boy, man, they both looking at some serious charges. But my theory, and I could be wrong, so, you know, don't get upset if I'm wrong, but I truly think that she might get a lesser charge and he may be getting a whole lot more harsher charges than her for various reasons. One, it could literally be because it was his hand that erased this baby boy, Emmanuel, or it could be because of his track record. Let's not forget what he did to Promise, y'all. And I don't need to go into details about that because I'll get mad. Okay. But if you do know about that situation, do you know that he has a history, a very violent history, and a history that shouldn't have let him out of prison so early or at all, to be honest? To be honest, at all. He should have been locked up for the rest of his life. In fact, if that was the case, then Emmanuel would never be alive, would never have been born. And then this tragedy never would have happened, right? I know that's frustrating and it's a terrible thing to say out loud, but that is a real thing if you really think about it. If that judge didn't sit there and go, yeah, we'll work out a deal with him. No big deal, He'll spend 6 months in jail, and he'll be able to go on work release, by the way, while he's locked up, because that's exactly what he got. So he's able to leave when he wanted to go to work and come back, on work release, and then come back to the jail for 6 months, and then he'll be on probation for the remainder of his sentence, which was minimal at best. His sentencing, okay. Then on top of that, he has to go to like some sort of group therapy thing, right? Because of what he did to Promise. And then after that, he was out there he could do whatever the hell he wanted, right? He was allowed to go and do whatever the hell he wanted, which is absolutely insane. Okay? Absolutely insane. This man should have been locked up for a very, very long time, if not for the remainder of his life, because he took Promise's life. This little girl, who is now around 7 years old, is not going to have a full life. She will see the rest of her life bedridden or in a wheelchair, unable to breathe, unable to eat on her own, unable to speak, see, walk, talk, nothing. He should have gotten a worse sentence, a much worse sentence for what he did. And Vanessa too. Yes, I said it. And Vanessa too. Okay? And Vanessa too. I don't care what his ex mother-in-law said, trying to be like, she's a good mother. She had another baby, by the way, and the things that she would do for her child, who cares? Sure, everyone has a chance to turn everything around, right? Everyone has a second chance. Maybe she's getting her second chance, and maybe she learned her lesson, but at the same time, that still does not deter from the fact that that woman should be locked up just as long as Jake was. Or, they should have stayed locked up, okay? She should not have the privilege. She should not have the privilege to have another child. Seriously, I'm sorry for saying that. I'm not trying to stop people from enjoying their lives and stuff like that, but if she was locked up right now, which she should be, including Jake the fake, they would not be able to procreate because they'd be locked up with other men and other women. They would not be, they'd be with the same, you know what I'm saying? He'd be living his own version of Oz, the TV show Oz. If you haven't seen that show, that's diabolical. Okay. And she'd be living her own very sad and messed up version of Orange is the New Black. Okay. And no, prison is not a cutesy, feel good comedy of the year on Netflix. No, it's not. It's vicious. It's volatile. It's scary. Now, I don't know what the version is for women, but for men, it's don't drop the soap, right? I don't know what it is for women. Okay. I don't know what it is. Okay. But nonetheless, bad things can happen to the ladies when they're locked up in prison too. And these two people should have been locked up, period. But they're not. She's able to have her child and live her life. Hopefully she is doing right by that child. Hopefully she found sobriety. But this mother lover, Jake the fake, went and found a whole new woman, messed up that whole new woman, had children with that whole new woman, and then did this alongside his whole new woman. If he was locked up, this would never have happened. Like I said, and I always say, by this time, if he was still locked up, which he should be still locked up for what he did to Promise, he'd be wearing Kool-Aid lipstick, holding the inside pocket of a man named Jose. Real talk. Real freaking talk. In fact, Rebecca would never have met Jake Haro or Haro. She would never have met him. Real talk, if you think about it. And no more of her going and saying, yeah, he had me at Hola. He had me at Hola. There would be no more of that. No more of that, guys. All of that would be gone. Just being real. She would not be like, oh, Jake, you had me at Hola. You had me at Hola. We would not have that anymore. No more. But unfortunately, that's not the reality that we're in. Because honestly, if he really was locked up, he'd be in that prison saying, hola, to Jose, rocking that Kool-Aid lipstick. You know for a fact, he'd be in that corner, probably fiending for something. You get what I'm saying. Fiending. Hola, cabrón. Jose, ¿dónde está mi pantalones? That's what he'd be doing in prison right now if he was still locked up. But is he? No. Well, I mean, he's locked up now, but he was free. Bumping uglies. Made another child. And now that child's no longer here. Ain't that some BS? Now, here's the thing. You know I'm right. And then Rebecca would never have to experience Orange is the New Black. She never would have to be called Thunderclap. Never. Not never be called Thunderclap. But now she has that chance. Lucky her. She's got a chance to get her groove on. Her Orange is the New Black on. And in 2 years' time, she'll have a whole neck tattoo. All right. Having some strange, odd love affair with whoever's locked up with her. Okay. Woman named Ice Pick. Okay. Can't tell, you're like, is it a man? Is it a woman? You can't even tell. Okay. But she's getting the love and the loving embrace and that warm touch from Ice Pick. But then she learns the way of the streets behind bars. And that's why she's called Thunderclap. That's literally what it is. Get ready for it. This is what's going to happen. Yes, Cynthia. My boy speaking facts. It is facts. Wait for it. And I already said it a million times. The neck tattoo, Ice Pick, the warm embrace of another woman named Ice Pick. She gonna realize that she don't need that man no more. His weed whacker ain't gonna be able to reach through the many miles that they'll be separated from each other to get into that hoo-ha. Okay? His warm embrace and his violent blows will never touch that woman's face or body ever again. Yes, I said it. Can I get an amen? And then she gonna realize I don't need that man. He doesn't love me. Ice Pick showed me more love behind bars. I learned how to make prison wine. And she was patient. Ice Pick was so patient. What did you do for me, Jake? You got me locked up here, Jake. I hate you. And then she gonna be calling up her lawyer. I'm ready to say everything. I'm telling you right now, once she sees the light by the warm embrace of Ice Pick, she gonna realize she don't need that man no more. His influence can't get beyond these prison walls. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm just getting warmed up, baby. I'm just getting warmed up. Okay? This is what's going to happen. Wait for it, y'all. I'm ready for it, baby. I'm ready for all of that to come out so fast. I'm going to be laughing the entire doggone time. I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to be laughing. I'm going to have a full-on smile on my face, and I'm going to say, yep. Thank you, thank you, Thunderclap. Thank you. Wait for it. It may happen today. You never know. It may happen today, but hey, his influence is still there. His influence is still his little talons. Yes, he's demonic. His talons have sunk so far deep beyond the skin, okay? It's going to take some time for it to come out, okay? Takes a minute to detox from the likes of a toxic person. Woo! Those are bars. Oh, those are bars. I'm just saying, takes a minute to detox from a toxic human being. You got to get all that nasty stuff out your body. You really do. Takes a minute. We all have had toxic relationships, I'm sure. God forbid, I don't wish it on anybody, but we've all had our fair share of bad relationships, okay? Real talk. Like, why? And it takes a minute to get them out of your system. It takes a minute. It's going to take a minute for her. Unless, she already found Ice Pick in her holding cell already. That's possible too. You never know. I mean, she's a woman. She has needs. Okay. She has needs. But we'll see what happens here. Trust and believe. But there's a few things that we need to talk about, okay, as we wait, okay, as we continue to proceed into this conversation. First and foremost, I see a bunch of y'all in here. I appreciate you being here. If I was able to make you chuckle just a little bit, if I was able to just tickle your rib just a little bit, okay, that does kind of sound weird, tickling the rib. But you get what I'm saying. If you appreciate the information, the conversation, and the entertainment, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below, please, because I see you guys on both platforms here. I appreciate y'all. Please hit that like button, hit that like, hit it. Okay. And of course, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe. Here's the other thing. I got another question and favor to ask for you guys. Okay. Because I know that we have been very deep into this Emmanuel Haro case. And of course, this is very important, but there are also other important cases going on as we speak, like Dakara Thompson. Okay. I just dropped a video about that, actually a short or a TikTok on my platform. While we are waiting, while we are doing our thing, all I'm asking, I implore you guys to bring some awareness to that case. Go check it out. Take a listen, take a watch, watch that video, okay? Because there's another case where a family is pleading for the safe return of their 19-year-old daughter that mysteriously just disappeared, okay? And so I'm asking for everyone, please go check out the short or check out the TikTok that I just put out right before we went live. That would be greatly appreciated. Of course, it's bringing awareness to that case. like I said, there's so many missing person cases going on. I'm trying to cover all of them as best as I can. This is one that just caught my eye earlier today. I wanted to share that with you guys. That's why I was like, I got to go. I'll come back at 12:30 or 12:15-ish to talk to you guys about this arraignment situation. But for right now, you know what I mean? I need to get into, there's other cases and stories to talk about, right? So again, I want to share that with you guys. So please take a look at it when you get a chance. Share it if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. So moving on. All right. And Sonia, thank you so much for watching in Australia. Good day. Okay. Do you guys like Bluey? Is that a popular cartoon in Australia? No. Is it? I'm just curious. Do you guys say shrimps on the bobby? Crikey. No. I heard kangaroos are terrible. Is that true? I'm just asking every stereotypical question you can ask to an Australian. But I appreciate you, Sonia, on Facebook for watching this and being here at 3 o'clock at 3:30 in the morning. Damn, in Australia. Okay. But I appreciate it. Thank you. We're going to get to the arraignment. Okay. I promise. Kangaroo. She said, Sonia said kangaroos are savage. Crow. Oh no. That's insane. I've heard stories about those damn kangaroos. They make them sound like they're so cute and kind, but they're not. They're buttholes. Yes, I've heard that. They're absolute buttholes. Okay. So I designed Bluey. I designed for Bluey? What? I designed for Bluey? Nicole B, you do? I designed for Bluey, laughing my butt off. My desk is covered. What? You need to explain a little bit more. That's interesting. That's interesting. You that's cool. What do you mean by you design for them, for Bluey? Do you help like color the characters or something? Or are you just messing? I find that very interesting. Moving on, though. You know what I mean? You're a parent when all you hear is that all day long. You know what I mean? Just saying. But moving on, okay? Yeah, Tan on TikTok. Bluey is huge everywhere. It's big in UK. It's big everywhere. Okay? I can't escape it. It's everywhere. And it's Miss Rachel. It's Miss Rachel or Bluey for the most part. Okay? And super simple songs. Anybody else know that? It's So let's move on. Okay. We got some things to talk about. All right. So again, SF Investigates put this up, and I thought this was very interesting. So I wanted to share this with you guys. So what to expect at today's arraignment for Jake and Rebecca Haro, those monsters. Arraignments are brief, where no evidence is introduced. So again, this is going to be very fast. They're going to be like, okay, they're going to ask, do you plead? Do you not plead? All that stuff, right? The judge will inform the defendants of the charges filed against them and advise them of their constitutional rights, and they will enter a plea. So it'd be guilty, not guilty, right? Guilty, not guilty, guilty, not guilty, right? It's possible that the defense attorneys for Jake and Rebecca will attempt to have bail reduced, which I hope to God that does not happen. But we will see. Wilder things have happened. Did you hear about Laken Snelling? Don't worry. We'll probably tap into that as we wait. Okay. I did a video about that as well. Laken Snelling. And that is disturbing. But if they get bail and they get it reduced, this is going to be redunculous. All right. However, such motions are unlikely to succeed, especially in Jake's case. Now, it could work for Rebecca because this is her first offense, all that. So there's a possibility she might get out or get a lesser bail, which, of course, this is what SF investigates says here. Okay, given his existing probation violation, I mean, he is a volatile, violent individual. He should not be seeing the light of day, period. But moving on. Rebecca's attorney may argue for leniency by emphasizing the lack of a recovered body her absence of a felony record, and her longstanding ties to the community, which is absolute horse manure because let's be real, her longstanding ties to the community, she used that to manipulate the community and the outside world, and, and the whole world, okay, by fooling everybody, thinking, I'm a good mother and I'm just trying to find my son. He said, hola, and all that crap. Stop. Okay? The court will set a date for a preliminary hearing, which by law must occur within 10 court days of the arraignment unless time is waived by stipulation of all parties. It is highly likely that both defense teams will waive time, either to review the evidence or for strategic reasons, or may even waive the preliminary hearing altogether. If the hearing is put on calendar, it will be the first opportunity for those of us in the public to see some, but not all, of the evidence, which is going to be very interesting, as the prosecution must present enough to establish probable cause, a relatively low legal threshold. Today's hearing will be brief, like he said earlier. Okay, I am most interested to see if a preliminary hearing date is set and for when. And I'd like to know when too, right? So if they ask for an extension, for example, it may be because police want some more time to get more stuff, to get after them, right? To stick to these two. Here's another takeaway. There may be a request for a lesser bail. Will they get the lesser bail? We will see. Okay? We will see. If the judge says, okay, I will lose my freaking mind. Let me just be completely 110% real. Here's a fair warning. I will lose my mind. Okay? I will lose my freaking mind. Just be forewarned. Okay? Don't get mad, because I get mad. Get mad because you're mad that he became lenient, but these judges need to stop. No, they need to throw the whole freaking book, the whole library, okay, at these mother lovers. If they get any semblance of grace from this judge, I will lose my mind. Okay? Just to be completely transparent with you, cabron, I will lose my mind. Throw the library, okay? Not just the book, the whole mother-loving library at them. Period. Gingy, thank you so much for the love. Yes, you're not the only one that will lose your mind. I think we'll all lose our minds, right? Respectfully, because we care, right? We care, dagnabbit. We care. So there's that. Now, again, for those of y'all who are late to the party, there was supposed to be not a press briefing. There was supposed to be the arraignment was supposed to happen earlier today, a couple hours ago, and it's been pushed to around 12:30. Now, of course, there were no cameras there are cameras in the arraignment, but it's not a live feed, okay, from what I understand. Now, one thing is for sure. Hold on. Let's see. Let me just see if there's any live-ish going on. Okay. Just making sure. But while we wait, okay, we got a few things. One thing is for sure. Garrett Hoddle, okay, he put out a video about an hour ago interviewing some people, and interviewing a person, and I want to because I think it's important. They said that hold on, let me read this real quick. They're saying that this person, Gina Ayala, hopefully I'm saying that right, with Emmanuel's Law. With Emmanuel's Law, a group working to pass legislation that prevents children from going to convicted CAs, monsters. Okay. She says the effort started with a woman named Penny Hefner, all the way from Caldwell, Idaho. Okay. Now, again, the fact that we have to have a bill or a law passed right now to protect our children are absolutely insane. You realize, like, this is okay. Before we go into this video, because we got time, okay? So let me cook, okay? Because right now I don't see anything about people coming out of the courthouse. There's apparently allegedly going to be a press conference here very, very soon, okay? But if you really think about it, the first things we should be doing is protecting our children, right? That should go without question. There shouldn't be any. There shouldn't. The fact that we have someone as amazing as this woman right here trying to pass Emmanuel's law, the fact that it actually that they're trying to make it exist is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Because the first thing we should be thinking about is our future, which is our kids. We should be concerned about taking care and keeping them safe. But why is it? And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to get after the CPS or DFS or any of those places, okay? I'm just trying to point something out, okay? Because I know there's a lot of people that work as social workers or work for those particular organizations and those particular groups, and I'm not knocking that. But what blows my mind is that we even just have to talk about it. This is stuff that we shouldn't have to talk about. It's kind of like that whole thing of like, let's just say you delete somebody from this planet, right? And you do it maliciously, you do it with intent, right? It goes without question that there's laws that are stacked up to make sure that you don't do those things. You don't just walk around and just start, murking everybody, right? Why isn't that same common sense applied to our children, applied to the safety of our children? I'm just asking for a friend. The fact that you have people like Jake, the fake, that are able to go to prison or go to jail for a second, then come back out and do what they did when they should have just been locked up in the first place because of the crime that he committed before, is appalling to me. There should be hard. Okay, and maybe this sound. Okay, I'm going to sound crazy. Maybe I'm going to sound crazy when I say this, but when it's crimes against children, those punishments should be worse, much worse. I feel like it should be the fullest extent, if not like I said, throw not just the book, the whole library, the whole freaking library at these monsters. You put your hands on them. You put your hands on them. You delete them. You touch them in any nefarious type of way. That's life. Now, maybe I'm a little bit too hardcore, a little too savage, but there shouldn't be any type of deals being made for monsters like what Jake, monstrous things like Jake did, and Vanessa. I'm sorry, she did it too. If you sat around and you did not call police, you didn't take your child and run for the hills as far away as you could from this monster, you are an enabler as well. Sorry. The fact that we haven't even gotten into the video, but what really pisses me off is that you have a woman and a group of people trying to pass a law to protect the children who get released, okay, or rescued from the hands of a monstrous person. How is that not already existing, y'all? How is that law not already existing to protect all of our children? All of them. So make that make sense. Like I said, I commend her for doing what she's doing. No. Applause to her. Thank you. But at the same time, the fact that there's no one that had even thought about this long time ago, when people realized that adults are doing terrible things to littles, why wasn't this stuff ever created? Why would you throw this kid back, or any person back to their monstrous parents? Why? This is the other thing too. Like, what does it mean that? Because here's the thing. You know how it is, okay? You know exactly how it is. We all know at least this one person. And I'm not saying this is like a blanket comment on all people like this, okay? Or on society. But it does make you think a little bit. It's this, okay? It's this. It's the adults that are like, I love kids, but I don't want kids of my own. Is that what the government's doing doing as well? Is that what the country is doing as well when it comes to these children? We love our kids. We love kids, but we don't want to have any responsibility on them. I can watch them for like 2 seconds, but what I love about it is I get to give it back to the parents. I get to give that child back to the parents. Yay, ooh, yay. But as soon as they get loud and, get a little, fussy, when they get too hard to handle, the one thing that's wonderful is I don't have to bring them home. I just give it right back to the parents, and I can walk back home and have my little espresso martinis and have my Sex in the City times. Yes. Okay. Is that what the government's doing too? We love our kids. The children are our future. But then as soon as they get back out of jail, we're just going to give the babies back. We're just going to give the babies back because we don't want the responsibility. That's a lot of diapers. Okay, and that's a lot of baby formula, and we ain't got time for that. But we love the kids. We love them. We want to protect them as far as we can protect them. But then they got to get back to the parents. Don't you realize that? Am I the only one who sees this? Am I the only one who sees this? The same thing that we see about our friends who are, that crazy auntie, right? Or the cool uncle that still ain't got no kids, but he clearly in his like late 40s, maybe his 50s, so clearly he ain't gonna have no kids, right? Same thing with crazy auntie. She the fun one though. She fun, It's like, oh, I love kids, but I love being able to give them back, right? Think about it, y'all. It's the same thing with the government. We need to protect our kids. We love our future, which is our kids. We need to protect our kids, but then we need to give them back. Give them right back. I ain't changing no diapers, but we need to take care of these kids. That's what we need to do, dagnabbit, dadgummit. We need to take care of them. But as soon as we get that parent out of that jail or out of that holding cell, we give that baby right back to that man. That's what we got to do because we don't know where to put these kids. Where are we going to put them? It's not like you can stack them on a shelf and just let them sit there and then they just grow into adults. Okay, it's not like you're watering the plant, every once in a while. You got to feed them, change them, burp them, teach them things, run after them when they start acting the fool. Okay, that's what the parents are for, you see. But we do care about our kids. We do. They are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty that they possess inside. Okay? But then give them right back to the parents. That's what we got to do. Don't care if they're a monster. Give it right back to the parents. I said, dadgummit. These laws should already be in place. These laws should already be in place. But they're not. That's messed up.
Your name is Gina Ayala. I saying that right?
Yes, Gina Ayala. And I've been following the case since the very, very beginning. And one day I was on TikTok. I watched it through TikTok. And one day I was watching it on TikTok. And chaos coordinator / Disney mom reached out to me, and she asked me to start supporting Emmanuel's Law.
And what is Emmanuel's Law?
Emmanuel's Law is to protect every child, to make sure that no other child goes to convicted child abusers in the future.
The fact, just so you guys know I just played something, you can't see it. But the fact that you have a woman out here trying to get a petition signed to protect children from child attackers is beyond me. This is a law. Emmanuel's Law should already exist. This should have already been existing way before. How is this even possible that a law like this, as simple and as obvious as it is now being created? That doesn't make any sense, guys. That just doesn't.
We're supporting him. I'm nervous right now. I'm sorry.
No, you're doing
we
great.
got the QR code, and it's www.emmanuelslaw.com.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have I think we have almost 10,000 signatures already, because there's a couple other people that also have Emmanuel's Law petitions going out. So we're hoping to go to Congress and turn this into a law to protect every child. Here's the back.
That's amazing. Okay. www.emmanuelslaw.com. If you want to sign the petition, I don't know if you have to be in the state of California or not, but maybe they'll explain that on the website. But if you go to it and sign it, that matters. Okay? But this is a real thing, y'all. This shouldn't like I said, this is something that already should have existed. And it doesn't. It's like, robbing is wrong. Doing a B&E, breaking and entering, is wrong and is illegal. Murking someone is illegal and wrong. Stuff like that, right? Very basic. I'm talking about broad stroke laws that we all know. All right. Not like, oh my God. So you mean if I record a movie and then sell it online, that's illegal? Oh gosh, I didn't know all that. Oh gosh. Copyright laws. Oh gosh. I didn't know. All that other stuff, all that technical stuff, okay? That's another conversation, It's like, oh, did you know it's illegal to own a raccoon in this particular city, in this particular state? All that fine-tuning stuff is another conversation. But very broad stroke, normal, common sense laws should already exist. But again, like I said, they give a damn about these kids for as long as they can hold them. And then they go right back to that monster of a parent. And that's exactly what's happening here. And we see this countless times. You see monsters like Jake and Rebecca. Well, not Rebecca yet, but you see a monster like Jake because he slipped through the cracks before. You see people like him slipping through the cracks because of a technicality, because the judge just feels, he just, me and the wife had, did the hibbity dibbity last night. So I'm feeling 10 pounds lighter. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to let that go. Let's work out a deal with this man. You know what I mean? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good today. So talk to that Mr. Haro and let him know we can work out a deal. Okay? Because I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good today. All right. And then what happens? Whilst on probation, whilst still on probation, everybody, what happens? Emmanuel goes missing because a man said, hola. He said, hola. If that doesn't grind your gears, I don't know what does. You know what I'm saying? There's just a level of diabolicalness, okay, diabolicalisms or whatever the hell you want to call it, that I just don't get. And sometimes you just got to woosah, okay? You just got to woosah through it, okay? Now, let me see if there's any updates, because of course, the arraignment should have already been happened. I'm just going to keep it real. The arraignment should have already been happened, but I don't see anything about it yet. So let me see. Let me check here really quick. Still waiting on something, but let me see here. Let me see here. 1 second, y'all. Let's see. Yeah, time to venture. Let's see. Okay, so there are some TikTokers that are streaming live, but yeah, I have yet to see anything. I know somebody said earlier something about Fox, but I don't know which Fox, but I have yet to see anything as far as live updates coming from the area. Hold on 1 second. Just pulling some things up. Excuse me. Oh, let's take a look at this. Thank you, G, on TikTok. I'll take a look at it over there. So my question is, now one thing I'm kind of curious about is, did they? Oh, you couldn't hear that. Dang, sorry guys. Okay, that was not intentional. Sorry about that. Let me see, because apparently they did a video, or they did a part here too. So let me take a look at this.
Murdering their 7-month-old baby.
Sorry about that,
Are
guys.
set to appear in court today. The child's remains have not yet been
This is
located.
2 hours ago.
KTLA's Aaron Myers is live outside the courthouse in Riverside with the latest. Aaron, good morning.
Good morning, Eric. Baby Emmanuel has been missing since at least August 14th, and now his parents are expected to be arraigned sometime this morning. They were first in court on August 26th, but that was postponed so they could be appointed a public defender, each of them. This is baby Emmanuel, just 7-month-old, when he was reported missing. That was on August 14th. Now, investigators believe he may have died several days before that. His parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, have since been charged with murder and filing a false police report. The Haros were arrested last month at their home in Cabazon. This after Rebecca Haro said that the 7-month-old was kidnapped from a Big Five sporting goods store in Yucaipa during an assault that she said left her unconscious and with a black eye.
Now, what's interesting is I'm hearing that they pled not guilty. So I guess that has already happened. Now it's a question of if they're going to, I mean, this is crazy. If I'm correct in what we heard, or what I heard, I know you didn't hear it. I know some of you guys on TikTok heard through my headphones. They're saying that they pled not guilty. Allegedly. But I want to make sure that's absolutely 110% correct. So I'm going to look. I'm going to play this a little bit more. Let's continue.
Soon after her initial report, investigators said they noticed inconsistencies with her account of events and said that the couple was being uncooperative. In a news conference, the district attorney says they believe Emmanuel was severely abused over time and that he succumbed to his injuries. Investigators have searched for baby Emmanuel. Jake Haro even seen on one of those searches, but the baby's body hasn't been found, though the district attorney did indicate authorities have a pretty strong idea where his remains are. In jailhouse interviews with the Southern California News Group, both of Emmanuel's parents denied involvement in his disappearance. Jake Haro has a previous felony conviction for willful child cruelty. He was also arrested last year for illegal possession of a loaded firearm and has probation violations. Now back here live, the Haros are being held on $1 million bail each. Once again, their arraignment is scheduled for sometime this morning. We will be heading into court for that. At this point, the district attorney's office is asking people to be patient as not many details have been released.
Now, I just got an update. This is from SF Investigates. Let me show that to you guys as well. So it is true. It is, at least according to SF Investigates. Let me just share this. But he's saying Jake and Rebecca Haro both pled not guilty. Rebecca's lawyer, Jeff Moore, asked for the case to be transferred to Banning, and the judge told the lawyer to file a motion to decide on that issue. So that's what we have right now. That was just posted 12 seconds ago. All right. KTLA, yeah, I was just saying that you guys didn't hear it, but KTLA was covering it on that live feed that I was showing, but I accidentally had it muted for you guys. But they're saying that that they both pled not guilty, which is still insane to me, because for a fact they did this, right? But that's the other question, Lupita. Did bail was denied? If bail was denied, I'm happy. But I'm still waiting to see if that information is correct. Hold on. I am refreshing some things just to see if there's any updates. Let me see here. Okay, we got some updates. So let me share this with you guys too. They're saying parents pled not guilty to M charges. So Jake and Rebecca, the two monsters, pleaded not guilty to charges of M and filing a false police report in the presumed demise of their 7-month-old baby boy, Emmanuel. So they were in court for their arraignment this morning in Riverside. So he was apparently Garrett Hoddle, the guy that we've been looking at his Facebook page. He was in the courtroom. So he'll be live starting, he should already be live talking about this. But prosecutors allege that Emmanuel was attacked over time and passed away between August 5th and August 14th. Okay, at a news conference, Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hestrin said investigators believe Emmanuel was, he was attacked over time, and he passed away from those injuries. So his remains have not been found, but the investigators say that they have a strong indication of where the baby's remains may be. But the thing is that I'm going, where they at? Where they at? Now, they're saying here that their bonds are still on $1 million each. So the charging documents filed last week list the M charge, and false report counts against both parents, and note recommended bail at $1 million each for Rebecca and Jake. The filing alleges the unaliving occurred between August 5th and August 14th. And the false report is dated August 14th, you know, the day that she said, he said, hola. So at their August 26th appearance, public defender Cosgrove spoke on behalf of the public defender's office, indicating it cannot represent both parents due to a conflict. Reporting since has indicated Jake remains with the public defender, while Rebecca is expected to be assigned a conflict panel counsel. So a clarification on counsel for Jake and Rebecca Haro is expected to be clarified in court today. So again, maybe this is just kind of like they added on top of like they updated an old article. That's very possible. Okay. But they're saying that they both pled not guilty to charges of M and filing a fake police report. So now they're going back. Now they're going back to the whole thing of them saying that, that he was taken. Remember, Rebecca did a whole interview while behind bars. And she said, that Emmanuel was taken from her and that Jake is a good man. He's a good man. He's a good father. Remember that crap? And then he's saying the same thing in his interviews too now. Saying that they're cooperating with police and that, Rebecca's a good mother. She's an angel. So they're still going with that story. That's what they're going with. That this baby was ripped out from her hands. Well, not really ripped out from her hands, but taken from her when she got knocked the F out by some random man that said, hola. Real talk. Somebody walked up and said, hola, and went, Haruken, to her face. And here's the other thing, too. We don't know how long she was out for. Was she knocked out and then she woke up 5 seconds later and baby gone? That's a question I'd like to have answered as well. But no, I don't think we ever will get that answer. Ain't that about to shut your mouth? Let's see what's going on here. Sorry, I'm just checking to see if there's any more updates here. Here's the other thing, too. I was expecting to see some sort of presser, but I'm not seeing anything so far. Let me see what's going on with the TikTok.
How hot is it now? Oh, it's 91. It's so hot. So we'll wait for the press conference I'm waiting for.
Okay, so a press conference is supposed to be happening. Allegedly. Let's take a look at this.
So both of them, so the update is, guys, that they both pleaded not guilty. They were both in their prison attire still. I would think that maybe they were dressed up already, but yeah, they have public defenders. I'm trying to read here. I know, guys.
Oh, well, that one's paused. Okay. 'Tis fine. I was hoping at least there'd be like some sort of update of some kind. But we're not seeing anything so far. One second, y'all. Hopefully there'll be a excuse me. Hopefully there will be a press conference of some kind, but right now, I'm not seeing anything. Of course, I'm trying to see if there's anything going on here real quick before. Just checking some things, guys. Hold on. Because you know how it is. They did a whole press conference, with and there was no recording of it whatsoever. And you'd think like all of these places, like Court TV, Law and Crime, News Nation, all of them would have been right there because this was a huge national story. But of course, we're still not hearing anything about it, which is also very interesting. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. I am just checking every news outlet I can think of off the top of the dome just to see if there's anything going on. Excuse me. Let me try this. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, it seems like people are just kind of waiting for some sort of press conference, but let me just check something here real quick. Let me get these super chats here really quick too. I think I already said hello to Mary. Taryn, thank you so much. Welcome. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate it. General, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Please cover the Renesmee at Yutzi case. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this person's name correctly. I apologize if I'm butchering that name, but it's just as bad as this. It's really bad. The adoptive mother did it, and it happened last night. Oh, snap. Are we sure? Okay, hold on. While we are kind of waiting for some things, am I saying the name right? Renesmee Yutzi? Am I saying that name correct? I feel like I'm destroying that name. But I will look in. Ooh. True crime lullabies. Diggity damn. Are you real? Are you for real? Sig Burns and the kid and the girl was what? Yeah, isn't that the name in Twilight? The Renesmee name? I'm butchering that name. I swear to God, I'm butchering that name. But I'll take a look into it for sure. I'm sorry, I don't mean to mess it up, but isn't that the name from? Why do I even know that? Oh my God. Oh my God. How do I know it's from Twilight? Isn't that from Twilight? Ain't that the name from Twilight? Ain't that the name from Twilight? Why do I know that name? Why? Okay. Why? Okay. Am I team Edward or team Jacob? I'm team Ola. Okay. None of them. Those movies were terrible, guys. Those movies were terrible. Dear God. Those movies were terrible. Moving on. Okay. Hold on. Let me see this. News conference tomorrow? Dear Lord. They are just like dragging this on. Like, just do the news conference now. You know what I mean? Do it right now. Just let us know what's going on. Okay? Beautiful Messy Ball, thank you so much for the love. Feed them both to El Chupacabra. Yeah, no doubt. They should be. Yes, I agree. They're terrible. Okay. Janobi, thank you so much for the love. The little brothers and sisters apologized to the police for lying and told them the truth. And you said it right. Okay. What was the name again? I feel like a jerk. Renesmee? Okay. Yutzi? Wait. So, yeah, see, okay, real quick before we go into the Renesmee Yutzi thing. And hey, Flossie, how you doing on TikTok? Thank you so much for hopping in onto the show. Now, what's interesting is Tammy Gill just said on YouTube, they both plead not guilty, but Jake confessed. Huh? Yeah. Interesting, right? If he really did confess, then there would be he would be taking a plea deal, or he would be pleading guilty. But he pled not guilty. Here's the other thing too, though. You got to remember, he might be playing that mind screw, right? He might be playing that mind screw game as much as he can. Why? Because he's diabolical. So throw in as much confusion as you can, and what are you going to get? Throw as much confusion as you can, and what you going to get? You're going to get people flying all over the place. People running in different areas. They say they have a general idea of where the baby's body is, but they have not found the doggone baby, not to nowhere. Where's the dumb baby? Where's the dumb little boy? Where he be, though? He's nowhere to be found. And they go, we got a general idea of where he may be, but they haven't found him. They have not. Why do you think? I think this is just my theory, and I could be totally wrong. Not only are he's trying to put in confusion and trying to bamboozle the police, but I also think that he's not telling them where the baby is, period, because he doesn't want to get stuck with a harsher M charge. He's going to get it no matter what. They can put in reasonable doubt, all that stuff. But if police have footage of her acting like she fell on the ground and then getting back up, this is going to be a very, very easy open and shut case for the state. But the fact that they're adding in confusion, they're doing all these things, it means that baby's not out there, y'all. That's what I truly think. That baby's not out there. He's not in the area that they're looking. You really think the likes of Jake Haro is going to be like, oh, yeah, he's over there. Yeah, he's right there. I told you. Now, Kim Ortiz, where is the news talking about it? Because I'd like to see it myself too. Okay? But I think he is messing with them because he doesn't like 5-0. He doesn't want this baby to be found because then there's reasonable doubt. No body, no charge, right? Or no body, no proof that this actually happened. But we'll see what happens, right? ABC 7. I'll take a look at ABC 7 and News 3. I mean, I saw News 3. We already saw that, but I'll take a look at the YouTube channel. ABC 7. Let's take a look. Let's see if they put up something recent. Because right now, 14 minutes ago, here we go. This is a short video.
Months ago, the parents of missing 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro pleaded not guilty to the murder of their son. Jake and Rebecca Haro maintained their innocence. Emmanuel remains missing. Prosecutors say he likely died from long-term child abuse by his parents. The Haros claim Emmanuel was kidnapped from a parking lot in Yucaipa 3 weeks ago. Deputies arrested the Haros, saying there were inconsistencies in their story.
That's all they said so far. This is the same stuff we already know, guys. Not saying anything bad. I'm just saying they're saying that, they plead not guilty.
$1,000 reward is being offered to find the person responsible for a deadly hit and run.
Okay, that's a hit and run situation. Hold on. I'm just seeing if Garrett Hoddle said anything on his Facebook page. Let's just see if there's any updates. So far, no. There is nothing on his page. Let me see if there's any updates on Channel 3, News Channel 3. What I read to you guys a little bit ago is now 19 minutes old. So if there is to be a press conference, that's going to be news to me, because I don't see anything about a news conference anywhere. But let's see. News. See what they do say on YouTube. Just checking YouTube real quick.
An IT investigation.
Hold on. Boop. So far, nothing on KSQ news. Nothing in here talking about Emmanuel. So let me see. Let's see what they're saying on TikTok.
There you are. I was looking for you. You on live right now? Hi.
And your keys?
Let me see this.
No, I'm good. The news wants to know if you would want to do an interview.
No.
Okay. I'm like, I'll ask. Why don't you?
That's not me.
Yeah, they're like that. Yeah. Okay, it's because they're looking for someone that speaks Spanish that's willing to do it. I'm like, I'll go ask around.
What's the question?
They're asking about.
And of course it goes and pauses right then and there. Yeah, guys. I mean, I guess, when it comes to the hearing, I mean, somebody said that the press conference won't happen until tomorrow now, which is kind of ridiculous. But I guess that is what it is, because I don't see anything here about it. I'm looking everywhere to see if there's any updates as far as Emmanuel Haro and the, of course, with what just recently happened, the arraignment. And all we know is that they pled not guilty. Looks like it looks like their bail is still the same. So they still have a $1 million bail each. So it's $2 million out for both of them. I don't think that, not anytime soon. Maybe as they start to Fox 11, I'll look Fox 11. But as far as any other updates, I don't think that we're going to be getting anything new here. Let me see. I'm looking at their Twitter page. Fox 11. Let me see what they say here. Fox 11. Let's see what it says here. I don't see anything from here. Okay, so same thing. Let's take a look at this. So they plead not guilty. Let's take a look.
On to this now, developing news. The parents of baby Emmanuel Haro have just been arraigned on murder charges. And Gigi Gracia was in the courtroom joining us live with this very latest update. Gigi, what can you tell us?
So this is literally the video that I saw that I missed. Okay. Yes, and I said that already, Rebecca, live on the show. That Rebecca's lawyer wants her case to be moved to banning. I don't know why. I mean, it may be because the area in which they live in, she's worried about ridicule, or she's worried about the jury being tainted because of everybody knowing about this case, or knowing about this Emmanuel Haro case. That might be the situation. Kind of like the Brian Koberger situation. Remember, in Moscow, they moved the case, the trial, to a whole other place because they were worried about the jury being tainted, right? Because everybody and their mama knows this case. Maybe that's what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe not, right? But very interesting that she wants to have that moved. Don't know the reason why, but that's one of the first things. That's my knee-jerk reaction. My knee-jerk prediction is that she's worried, or yeah, maybe John Allen, you may be right. Like Nicola just said, Banning is next to Cabazon. You live right by there. Thank you so much for that information. So maybe it is a situation where she wants to be closer to Jake in some messed up, effed up way. But like I said, give it time, okay? Because you never know. This trial may not happen until a whole other year from now. Look at what happened with, just for example, the Idaho 4 situation, right? You never know. She, give it time. As she's locked up all by herself, you really think that obsession and that dedication to Jake and to the story is going to stay the same? I doubt it. Like I said, wait for the orange is the new black moment. Trust me. She's going to have a moment where she's going to realize that she is not in control by this. She's not being controlled by this man. Unless she's really that jacked up in the head. However he used, whatever he did, whatever tactics he used to keep control over this woman, she will detox from. I'm telling you right now, unless she is mentally broken. That's it. She's mentally broken, so it's like, he can do no wrong. That's my man for the rest of her life. She's that deep in the land of Delulu. I'm telling you right now, when she realizes the charges and what she could be facing, how long she could be behind bars. Seriously. Something's going to slap her back into reality. And she's going to be like, yo, oh, this is a bad idea. He's not a good man. He's not a good man. He's not. He's a bad man. She's going to realize that at some point. That Stockholm syndrome is going to seep out of her body. Detox is going to be real as soon as she meets that ice pick. Like I said, she's going to meet Ice Pick. That swashbuckling son of a gun. Wait for it. Wait for Ice Pick to come through. Smooth operator. Okay? Sade. Just, sup? Looking like a Latino Justin Bieber. Okay? Just all, sup? Yeah, I see you over here, you kind of cute. What's good? Let me teach you how to make prison wine. Wait for it! Wait for it! Okay? Wait for it! And then she could be like, I found a new love. Thunderclap. You know what I'm saying? Just wait for it. Thunderclap and Ice Pick. Getting prison tats. Matching prison tats on their neck and stuff. Wait for it. So yeah, I'm hearing that there's no press conference, which is fine. Okay. When there is a press conference, hopefully I'll be around to be able to cover that. If not, we'll talk about it on a later date. Okay. Or on another time. Because these things are so sporadic. 1 minute they're talking about it. One minute they're like, we're going to do this thing on time. And then the next day they're like, no, we're not doing it on time. We're going to do it 7 hours later. It's hard to be, readily available every single day for this. But hopefully when they do the press conference, I'll be able to be here to do it and cover it with you guys. You know what I mean? But again, like I said, wait for that orange is the new black moment. She's going to be all up in it. Okay, she's gonna be all up in it. But let me play this so you guys can hear this. All right, and then I'm gonna hit these super chats. Okay.
That's right. This arraignment lasted all of 10 minutes, and both Jake Haro, through his public defenders, and Rebecca Haro, through her court-appointed private attorney, entered a plea of not guilty. Now, I believe we have some video. This was just recorded, has not been edited. We saw Jake Haro come into the courtroom. He's wearing that red jumpsuit, which indicates he is not part of the general population in jail. He
is by himself. But apparently, allegedly, there's going to be somebody around with him. Now, what's interesting is, wait. Now they're saying, Sonia on Facebook, thank you so much. Sonia said a press conference is being set up outside. Okay, so interesting. I'll take a look. I'll see about that. Okay, but I'm hearing no press conference, but maybe they are really doing it. Let's rock and roll. I'm going to look at it. Let me just play this while I look, okay?
Kept separate for his own protection because of the charges that he is facing. Rebecca Haro was wearing blue. We didn't see the color of her pants, which apparently determines, but we do not believe she is part of the general population either. Again, both of them entering pleas of not guilty through their attorneys. They really didn't speak. Jake said, "Good morning, Your Honor." Then he acknowledged, and you're looking live at that video right there. You see Jeff Moore. He is the court-appointed private attorney for Rebecca Haro. He stood right in front of her. She is sitting behind him. Jake and Rebecca were on opposite sides of the courtroom, both of them brought in through separate doors. I did not see either of them look at each other at any time. I may have missed a glance, but Jake Haro kept his eyes on the judge, and Rebecca was covered by, again, her attorney that you see there, Jeff Moore, and he is from Blumenthal and Moore. That is a law firm that works with the county of Riverside, the Riverside County Public Defender's Office. They are appointed by the court. Next important dates, they have what's called a, let me get that right here, the Felony Settlement Conference. That is also referred to as a Trial Readiness Conference. That date has been set for September 16th. And basically the lawyers come together with the judge, with the defendants in this case, and talk about the trial, their readiness for the trial, what they expect. And if there's a plea deal that is reached, and I want to note here that the Riverside County District Attorney, Mike Hestron, said there were no plea deals in the works. But again, that was last week, so things could have changed. That will be discussed on September 16th. On September 17th, the next day, that is the scheduled start date for the preliminary hearing, often referred to simply as the prelim. The prelim is where we will hear most likely not all of the evidence the prosecution has against the Haros, but just enough to convince the judge that there is cause that they be held over for trial on charges of murder in the death of their baby boy, Emmanuel Haro, only 7 months old when he was reported missing on the 14th. His parents telling police he had been kidnapped from a parking lot in Yucaipa. Investigators now saying that is not true. That never happened. And in court documents, they list the date of possible death between August the 5th and August the 14th. August 5th, most likely the last day that investigators can independently confirm that the baby was indeed alive. And I want to reiterate, his body remains have not been found yet. Again, mark your calendar if you're following the case of baby Emmanuel, September 16th and September 17th for a prelim. Of course, those dates could always change. But once again, Jake and Rebecca Haro entering pleas today to not guilty to charges they murdered their son.
They're saying not guilty, which we already know. And then, of course, they're going to be having a hearing, another appearance next in the next 2 weeks. Okay, in the next actually like 10 to 11 days, right? 10 to 11 days. 10 to 12 days. Okay. So roughly 2 weeks from now, they will be back in court again. Okay. But let me see. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Ice pick. Jupiter Moon said thunderclap merch. I'm done. And don't forget ice pick. Ice pick, not ice pocket, ice pick. Okay. So yes, 15th or 16th and 17th, if I'm correct, right? Did she say 16th and 17th? Hold on.
To not guilty to charge number 17 for a prelim, of course, 16th and September 17th for a
16th and 17th of September. They're going to be back in court all over again for more stuff. Now, of course, somebody asked in the chat. I didn't get a chance to answer it. Some of y'all were like, are you going to cover this when it goes into trial? Yes, of course. Of course, I'm going to check it out. Of course, we're going to talk about it. Absolutely. Okay. But yeah, I don't see anything with a press conference. I know that somebody else somewhere else, I don't know who that, I don't know where that person is. You know what I mean? I was looking online to see if I could find this particular person. I don't see anything out here saying anything about a press conference. If there is a press conference, then I'll look at it later. You see what I'm saying? Unfortunately, sitting around and just waiting for things to possibly happen and not happen. I'm sorry, but we all got things to do. Okay. And if there is a press conference later or at all, then I will cover it later for sure. But let me get these really quick. Holly, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. They are both going someplace very hot. I agree 110%. Kelsey, thank you so much. Just wanted to say hi. Hi, how you doing? And this case is crazy beans. Yes, it is absolutely crazy beans. Okay, for sure. And it's I feel like I've been saying this in other videos. Like, I feel like it's like we're in the middle of like this true crime movie. You see what I'm saying? We're just in the middle of a true crime movie. And there's constantly these twists and turns every 5 seconds. And I'm at that point where I'm like, can it just be cut and dry? You know what I mean? Can we just get a straightforward story with this in a timeline with this particular case? Because there's just so many peaks and valleys. And what's sad is that because they started off with lying and they've continued to lie, it's hard to believe anything that's being said by them. And the fact that they're still out here, these two monsters are still out here trying to make it seem like this kid is gone, right? That this kid was actually taken from them is absolutely beyond me. And I hope at some point, some sort of reality sets in to one of them. I'm going to sit here and say this. I don't mean to be biased, but I'm hoping it is Rebecca. I'm really hoping that she wakes up one day. And I'm saying even without the Orange is the New Black experience, I'm just saying that for comedy's sake, okay, just to be funny. But I'm hoping that reality sets in and she realizes, hey, I'm looking at some serious time. This man put me in this situation and I need to find a way to get out. Now, if that means that she gets a lesser sentence or a lesser charge or something like that, so be it. As long as we're able to get this child found and also get justice. Period. She's still going to get locked up. Oh, God, I hope she gets locked up. I hope that it's not a situation where she gets 6 months for her involvement with the demise of her own flesh and blood with her own child. I'm hoping that she's looking at time for a long time. But you never know. If it really happened where Jake is the one who did this and she had nothing to do with it except for riding along and going with what he's saying because he's a volatile human being, threatening her life, then may Thunderclap speak now and tell us exactly where this baby boy is so that they can throw the whole library at this man, not just the book, the whole library at this man, so that he can never see the light of day, meaning the light of freedom, ever again, right? Euclid, thank you so much for the love, or Elucid. Sorry about that, Euclid. Elucid, thank you so much. Makes you wonder how long this was planned for. That's what I'd like to know too. I think that's one of the main burning questions that we all want to get answered. How long did this happen for, right? How long did they do this? When were they plotting? Were they plotting even before this boy lost his life? Think about that too. Were they thinking about doing this and then they did it? Or was it really an accident? I mean, it's really not an accident at the end of the day when he's raising his fist to his own child and he's doing all those things. But you know what I'm saying, that he just attacked the kid a little bit too hard one day and then the kid's gone. Those are things I'd like to know, right? Did they plot like, oh, I can't handle this kid, he's too much, right? I hate to say it like that, but maybe people have done crazier things, right? Crazier things. Funky, thank you so much for the love. A streamer, Mark, okay, yes, is updating that Jake, you corrected yourself in the other super chat, that Jake was calm and cool in there. And she was a depressed mess. They're prepping for a press conference. That's what we see, but I don't think that's happening anymore. I have yet to see anything. Thank you again for the correction. Is Jake, not Make. I appreciate that. Tier Talk. Thank you so much for the love. Great coverage. Maybe if you get a chance, you would check out how we've been covering it as well. I think we provide a very unique perspective that's not done anywhere else. I'll be sure to take a look. Tier Talk. Thank you so much for the recommendation to check out your channel. I will take a look when I get a chance, for sure. Now, again, like I said, if they really are doing a press conference, that is news to me, y'all. That is big time news for me. But let me check something here. Let me just see something here. Yeah. Honestly, all the people that were going even TikTok live, all of them are done too. So again, interesting, guys. Very, very interesting. No press conference, it looks like, but at the same time, when there will be one, maybe it is tomorrow, maybe they won't do one until next week. We will find out. And when we do, we're going to talk about that for sure. Okay. Momac, thank you so much for the love. You look cute today. Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you so much. You know? Yes. I'm just kidding. But thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. But again, guys, when we get more information, I'll be talking to you guys about it for sure. Please do me a favor, okay? Go and check out the most recent video I did about Dakara Thompson. Yes, I'm going to be looking up Renesmee. I'm hopefully saying that name right. Renesmee. What was the last name? Now I feel like a jerk because I didn't write it down. Hold on. Renesmee. What was the last name? Damn. I hate when that happens. What was the last name? Yutzi. Thank you. I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down so I don't forget because I want to look this stuff up. Okay. But I do want to share this though real quick. Renesmee. Okay. I'm gonna butcher it until I get it right. Okay. And then she was found deceased. That's terrible. I'll take a look at that for sure. But real quick, this is just a little bit of a left turn, but it is a case that I've been keeping an eye on and talking about on TikTok. Okay. Renesmee. I think I'm saying it right. Renesmee. But anyway, this is something completely different. It has nothing to do with Renesmee's case. Okay. But this really quick. Laken Snelling. Okay. Now, this is crazy. Okay. This is absolutely crazy. So when it comes to this particular person had cops come to their dorm because there was complaints of a smell coming out of her room. And apparently people went into the closet finding a deceased little, for lack of a better term, in her closet. She admits to giving birth to this baby. And there's photos out there where she's clearly with child, while and also doing tumbling, doing all kinds of cheerleading moves and all that stuff. She was clearly months pregnant, then gave birth to this baby. Now, I don't know if the baby was stillborn or if the baby was alive and breathing when the baby came out. Okay. But nonetheless, she said she birthed that child, and she was getting all types of different charges. Then just yesterday or the day before, yes, it's an Alexi Treviso without a shadow of a doubt. But the only difference between this one and Alex Treviso is that Alex Treviso was basically completely dissociating herself, completely disconnecting herself to the child. She's like, oh, it wasn't breathing. It wasn't moving, right? She wouldn't even say the baby. She was just saying it, right? And of course, she said not guilty to all that stuff as well. And she gave birth in a hospital, in the bathroom of a hospital, then took the baby and put the baby in the bottom of a trash can in the bathroom of this hospital. Pretty insane stuff, long story short. But anyway, moving on. Back to Laken. Laken goes into her first hearing. She pleads not guilty, which is insane. Then what's even more insane, she gets out on bail. She does not get an anklet, okay? And she gets to go back home with her family after she did this deplorable, disturbing, messed up thing. It doesn't even matter if she gave birth to the baby and the baby was stillborn. Let's just be real, or the baby was not breathing. She still took the baby, wrapped it in a towel, put it in a trash bag, and then put it in her closet. Who does that? Who does that? But now we hear some more information about this woman, because she's a woman. Okay. This is a 21-year-old woman from the University of Kentucky. She was part of the cheer stunt team. She was a senior at the University of Kentucky. She had a steady boyfriend as well. I don't know if people say steady anymore. Okay. But steady boyfriend and all that as well. But she was with child. She was most definitely with child. This is not a situation where she was sitting there going like, oh my God, I didn't realize that I was pregnant. No, she most definitely was preggers. Okay? Most definitely pregnant. And now we hear other things, because now they're coming after her. The public is coming after her. And allegedly, this woman right here is a mean girl. Yeah. Yeah. A mean girl. Okay. So apparently she's been a mean girl so much, and I don't even need to read the article. Okay. Because I already know about this, that she was literally in her like cute little Jeep trying to run over a girl that she would bully at high school. She terrorized this girl so much that this girl had to transfer high schools. And that didn't even stop this woman. This woman went out of her way to start attacking her online and through text messages. This girl, from my understanding, Laken, is so focused on her appearance and keeping up with the Joneses type of thing that she doesn't care about the common decency of other people. Zero. This woman is a bona fide Class A butthole. All right? I could say a lot worse, but I'm going to try to be nice and try to keep it as PG-13 as I can on the show. And it's not even about her being, as they say, a serial bully. Okay? That doesn't help her situation at all. But it's the fact that she did what she did. And then on top of it says not guilty to these charges, rather than pleading guilty or working out some sort of deal. You got to remember, this is the kind of stuff that really aggravates me, because what she did in the past, what she just recently did that is causing her to be eventually incarcerated, is not going to stop her if the judge doesn't stop her. Let me say that again. It's not going to stop her from doing things in the future if the judge doesn't stop her. Let me say that one more time. This is not going to stop her from doing things in the future if the judge doesn't stop her. Meaning, for what she has done to this baby, she should be locked up for good. That's what I truly think. Sure, you can do all this crazy long division math, okay? Carry the 1 divisible by 2, okay? The square root of X, Y, and Z is X, Y, and Z. You could do all that crap, but at the end of the day, this is a person that gave birth, hid the baby, and let that baby perish. Of course, there's rumor that the baby was not full term, but then there's rumor that this baby could have been almost full term. Now, it's all up to this judge. And if the judge decides, I'll give her some grace, like the other judge did to Jake, do you realize what's going to happen? She can go back out there and give birth again. She can make another baby later on in life. You really think she deserves to be birthing another child even 20 years from now? I'm just saying, certain things like this is just wrong. There's a cutoff point in my personal opinion. I keep saying, like, when it comes to stuff like this, and I we've said this a million times, some people should have to go through many hoops to have the right to procreate. Because there's some really bad people out here that don't even know how to properly take care of their children when they make the children. And then what's so sad about it is that they don't stop making them. They just keep making more babies and they don't stop. And then you see something like the Jake and Rebecca situation. And we've seen this countless times before. And you go, how are these people even allowed to birth more children? And it all goes down to situations like this. And this is the end. This is the embryo stage. Okay. See what I did there? This is the embryo stage of a situation that could get worse in time. Because if the judge goes, oh, well, she's a pretty girl in my eyes, and she, it's her first offense. She didn't mean to do what she did. So we'll just let it go. Well, she'll do a little bit of public service, some community service, and then we're going to let it keep on moving. Okay, we'll let her move on. You realize that in a short amount of time, she could get on top or underneath another man and make another baby, and then the same situation could happen again. If worse, she can have the baby, then she treats the baby like trash. Then the baby goes missing because somebody walked up to her and said, hola, and then knocked her the F out. I'm just saying, think about this. This is the problem I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And Scorpio, I don't think it's pretty privilege. Have you seen her mugshot? It is not pretty privilege. Have you seen the mugshot? So it's not pretty privilege. It's called financial privilege. That's what it is. It's financial privilege. That's what I truly believe. Okay? So again, these are the things that concern me. Because next thing you know, and God knows what the baby's name was going to be. By the way, the baby was a boy. They still have not determined the cause of his demise. Not yet, at least. They're looking into it. Okay? They're looking into it. In fact, somebody said, please show mugshot. It's right here. Have you seen the mugshot? Oh! Okay? There it is. Makeup does amazing things. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm mad. I'm mad because stuff like this happens all the time. And like Alexi Treviso, yeah, she's getting away with a lot of stuff as well. Okay. But I'm going to say it again. Makeup does amazing things. Okay. Man, makeup. You know, makeup, man, makeup. Because look, that's the same woman. That's the same woman. No. That's the same woman. So, yeah, that's the same woman. Drink it up. So again, like I said, guys, I understand that we don't know the full scope of everything that's going on in this situation, but here's the thing. She still gave birth, then took that precious being and put him in a closet so much and so long, for so long, that her roommates were complaining about a smell. Think about that for a second. They were complaining, like, oh, what is that smell? Oh my God. Smell was that bad. This wasn't a situation where she put the baby in the thing and then, seconds later, baby was found. No, the baby was in there for at least a few days, guys. And apparently she gave birth and went straight to school. She went to class after giving birth. And then, of course, add sprinkles on top. She's a butthole. She a mean person. She a mean girl. She treats other people who, she doesn't like or, whatever. She treats them like absolute trash, like dog water. Terrorizes these people until they have to transfer to other schools. Try to run them down with their Jeeps and whatnot. This is not somebody who's well in the head. Clearly. I mean, come on, y'all. This is not clearly. You do what you do. Clearly, you do the reverse math. You're going, she did that. Oh, damn, she did that. Yeah, she's not well. She's not well. She's not. But what's weird about this is that, there's, and I don't think that there's the photos are in here, but, she has photos of her and her boyfriend and all that stuff, right? Happy as a clam, the whole photos like that, holding his hand is, the Instagram, the typical photographs, the Instagram stuff, we make a great couple, that kind of stuff, right? Wearing matching, colors, all white and stuff, okay. Does he know? Did he know? Did he know at all? That's the question everybody is asking. And of course, there's theories like, oh, maybe he's the one who did it. He's the one who did it. But we don't know. We don't know. These are the moments when I go, judge, you need to judge very carefully, because this is somebody that could get away with this and can do this again. And it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, I learned my lesson. There's certain things where there's no like, okay, we'll give you a second chance. There's no second chances, guys. None. There shouldn't be any second chances with this kind of stuff. You understand? There should not be second chances. Yes, this is not like she was a 15-year-old girl losing her mind or younger than that. You see what I'm saying? This is a 21-year-old girl who is obviously knows about, the party life, knows about the hibbity dibbity. She knows the difference between life and death, and that consequences, choices that you make, deplorable actions that you make have consequences. But if she's doing this and putting baby in a closet, that clearly shows to you that this is a person that's not right. This is not somebody that should be out here being able to birth other children. I'm sorry. just like Jake, just like Rebecca, just like Vanessa, all of them. Just like Leilani Simon. Remember Quentin Simon? Just like all the other people. Just like Adam Montgomery and what he did to Harmony Montgomery. How about all these other cases that we have covered and talked about? They shouldn't have an opportunity to step out, breathe in this freedom air, and have the choice to procreate. So, Jupiter, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Pascal, you're the man. Keep on keeping on. And I hate check. Yes, spell check. Yeah. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. I understand. I feel your pain on that too, especially when you're trying to type something really fast and you're all thumbs, even though you're texting with all thumbs. I mean, it's weird if you're texting like this. If you're literally texting with your fingers like this, like you are typing on a computer, that's a little weird. I'm sorry. That talent, but it's all thumbs for me. Okay. But yeah, when you're trying to text something really fast, and you're saying like, don't forget to pick up some coffee or something like that. And it keeps coming out like rabbit's foot. And you're like, I don't know why I keep saying rabbit's foot. COFFE. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Keeps on respelling rabbit's foot. You're like, I didn't ask for no rabbit's foot. Come on. Peg, thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for coming back. Welcome back. Thank you so much for becoming a member again. I appreciate it. Okay. But again, guys, like I said, we're keeping an eye on the Lakin Snelling case. We're keeping an eye on the the Emmanuel Haro case. There are so many other ones like the Dakara Thompson case, which obviously, I don't know. They found remains, but they don't know. You see what I'm saying? They don't know whether or not the remains are hers or not. But of course, we are keeping an eye on all these. And then, of course, Renesmee, Utsi, I don't know anything about it, but I am going to take a look at that as well. And it sounds like that one's wrapping up fairly fast, given the fact that the alert was yesterday and now there's new developments about that. So we're going to keep an eye on everything as best as I can. Okay. But we'll see what happens, guys. It's crazy. Okay. But guys, we got to get going. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. Seriously, thank you. Okay. We're keeping an eye on everything. Yeah, Amy, as far as the Travis Decker situation, they have not confirmed whether the bones that they found in that area are his or not. So we'll see what happens with the Travis Decker situation as well. All right. But before you get out of here, okay, before you leave, please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button if you haven't done that yet. Hit that follow button. Follow. Don't forget to subscribe. Please and thank you. All right. Of course, keep that notification bell set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, there's a lot of breaking news going on and I'm just trying to catch up as best as I can. All right. But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for spending the time with me here. And we'll be talking here very, very soon. All right. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.